Oh shit, is that where I'm at? How's it going, guys, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, where we last left off. I don't remember. It's been like 3-4 weeks since last. What am I doing here? Guess I'm testimonying here. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. Alright, so that's the testimony we got out of him. And now we gotta question him for everything.
Does this work? That means that money didn't show up until after you saw Max.
That's right. Money ran out less than a minute after I saw Max. Then money snatched the ring, and you went chasing after him? How long was it, Yon? Was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose 5 minutes, I think. Alright, I got this voice mod going on. So I'm gonna try to have this female voice.
For Von Karma. Only that voice mod for now. I don't know what to do the others. So the victim could have arrived at the scene at that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Witnessing Max? I'll give you to that. I was waiting that night for Regina. Alright, so what do I remember? He was like waiting. He saw Maximilian Galactica. We're questioning why he was waiting there, and he was waiting for Regina. Let's just press everything he says. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, you know? 4. F-O-U-R. 4. Counting Ben, of course. But how many eyes do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous in our case than Trillo. But that doesn't even change the fact that I saw Max in Plaza that night. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night? Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. Wait, back. Are you sure it was 5 minutes? About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out for yourself. You already know that the practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. If you already know that, I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was and when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it? Indeed. What time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Yo!
It was 10:10 p.m.
Yes, that sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time that I saw Max on the scene. Really? Let me check my pro. Wait, do we have a time of death? Alright, it adds up, I think. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. The fact I saw Max last at night, he showed up after I've been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night? You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trillo. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist's act out of the courtroom. Impossible! A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's got to be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Trillo's evening greeting. It was at 10 p.m. evening. Wait. Let's ask this. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. But why would that strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers?
Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Ow, that hurt!
Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school.
There's no reason that Trillo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence?
Loving is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one.
I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will assume his testimony. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw... Oh, are you sure? Are you 100% sure of what you just said? I told you already, Jace. I am 100% absolutely sure.
There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right?
There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. Alright, what are the 3 symbols? Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with the chorus. Everyone, together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you very much. Maya, you didn't have to join in that, did you?
But it's fun shouting out with everyone else. There has to be a hole in the testimony somewhere.
I agree, but do we have the proof to make something stick?
All we can do is try, right, Nick? We got to have something that will prove useful.
All right, time to go to work. Give you those. Waiting that night for Regina. I saw Max in class the night. You should have after waiting there for 5 minutes. There's something about this testimony. All right, so let me check this. A silk hat, cloak, and white roses. Yeah, we got that. So that he's right about that. So there's something about this. But place, you're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know the practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. If you already know that, you went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time there is time. Ben's half the comedy act. Let's try saying this. I hate to say it, but Ben's part of your little act is coming out off a bit stale.
You're not trying to pass yourself off as a professional performer, are you? Don't get so wrapped up in yourself, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? You should know better!
Ow, that hurts.
That should set him straight. You may proceed with your testimony, witness.
Oh, okay, that one makes sense. So because they had a fight just before, why would he say good evening, good night to him? So let's present this. So that makes sense. Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal, it was just an argument. A disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clunked over the head. That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery?
Ouch! Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first.
The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival.
Objection!
Are you saying that this witness is lying? And that he's trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene?
I didn't tell a single lie, honestly. I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? Well, the hat was there. I would say he saw a different person. Yeah, he saw a different person. It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to.
What kind of theory is that?
The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
What?
If I had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it.
What in the world? You?
Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trillo saw that evening then? The monkey. The guy who's not here. Wait! The ringmaster was there. He was the one who died. And who would you not say, and who could you not say good evening to or like greet to? The fucking boss. Let's present him. He was there. He must have passed him. Considering the ill temper of the witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor, it's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trillo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you got a point there.
It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not?
You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Order! Order! How do you respond to this? Wait a second! Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. We can't trust this fraud. I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, one of Mr. Russell Berry?
The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols.
3 symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man, you gotta remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone. All together now.
Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses.
A silk hat and a cloak. Could anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me.
What was that?
Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do they really know it was Maximilian's Galactica? It could have been someone else, dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry.
What?
Miss Von Karma, do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well,
If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes! I think we finally won a point in this one. This is very unfortunate. Huh? You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? What do you mean by that? Oh, I forgot the voice changer.
You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person at the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort,
But?
Who was the person who can only be answered by the next witness?
Huh?
Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt. an answer to the question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime.
Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. To be continued? Damn. Maybe I should put like on my... Yep, save my progress. He's gonna like present... Wait. Ooh, the final witness might be the one we haven't met yet. The owner of the monkey? Sweetie! You have to believe me! I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene!
So then, where were you when the murder took place?
We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Oh, wrong voice. Exactly. He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back.
That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right?
That's what it seems like.
But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right?
Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room, still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off.
Which means...
It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous! That's a fabulous possibility.
Well done, Nick.
However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double,
Wow, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something.
Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up. Magician or president? You have no idea how hard it was to make a mistake. A decision. Wow.
That's really cool.
Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Mr. Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case.
Ready, man. I will now call my next witness. A pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Carols please take the stand?
Why did he just call him a pitiful clown?
The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record.
What?
Name and occupation?
Will the witness please inform the court why he is speaking autobiographical gibberish? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited in this court sort of occasion. What in the world are you talking about? You're in Grand Hall of Justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupations, please state your name for the court. Oh yeah, maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear the pants? The sign only says no shirt, no shoes, no service. I don't have a laughing track. I should have a laugh track. Oh, I have this one. Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist? Dr. Seymour Butts. How was that one?
Your name?
Lawrence Curls, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown.
You witnessed the scene at around 10:15 p.m. that day of the murder, correct?
Yes, it is. Very well, Mr. Curls. Will you please testify to what you saw that evening? Without the humor, please. Okay.
Pure Mo can't be his normal stoogey self in court.
Witness testimony. What you witnessed? I know. I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and polite applause. Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today. But this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try making everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone, what do you think of me? What do you think of me? How am I doing? What? That's not a testimony to what you saw. That's just your troubles. Are we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here?
Witness,
Huh?
we will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, we stick to the facts of this case.
Really? You really hear me out?
Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later.
Thank you, I can't wait! Your gumshoe. Now that that's settled, shall we begin once again with the testimony? Of course we can! I'll talk for as long as you want! Alright, for real this time. The night of the murder. After practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clung the ringmaster over the head. Wait, he was wearing his cloak. What about the hat? You're gonna mention the hat? So there was he didn't witness any sign of a hat, but he saw the cloak. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment by it right now.
Of course you can. There is no way that this account can be criticized. Oh,
However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him. That must be because of my insincere smile. Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
Nick, you gotta find some kind of contradiction to in his testimony.
I know that. Mr. Wright. Your Honor. I'm afraid if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you are not going to engage in pointless saber rattling. I understand, Your Honor.
If you cause this clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible.
Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes. Seriously? Am I limited to what I can ask now? Well, I've always been limited, so... The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. Are you sure about that? You'd say that practice wrapped around 10 p.m., correct? See, that's the thing. Huh? How exactly am I supposed to make a joke about 10 p.m.? Now, 8 o'clock? That's something a clown can rip off of. Let's just pretend it was 8 o'clock. That's... Let's not make it 8 p.m., alright, Mo? What do you mean, let's not? Don't take the clown out of the clowning around.
Come on, Nick, just listen to his joke.
There are 3 reasons why I don't want to. 1, I probably won't laugh. 2, I'll get hit with a penalty. 3, I'll get whipped. Will the witness just proceed with his factual testimony?
You are so boring.
You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped.
Hold it!
You were pooped that night? Yes, I was very, very tired. Not to mention, I had some bad Mexican food. What? The double cheese, double bean enchilada is a dangerous menu item. What happened after that, as to say, happens. Aha! That one was cool, huh? I hear the kids really love toilet humor these days. That joke was so hip, I don't want to ruin it with a reply. I've got a good... Ah, shit! Fuck. Okay, so I really am limited to what I can press. Alright, let's save in case I like use all of them.
Hold it!
You just have to glance out of the window? You could say that. You could also say I peeked. Start. Mr. Curls. Oh, I guess synonymous. Synonym. synonyms aren't allowed either. What should I do? I wonder if I should press him further on this issue. Keep pressing. I saved my game file. Excited. Why did you look out the window that night? Why? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out the windows, do they? That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday, once I had tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a dying thump. Oh yeah, he did say that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You forgot?
Your Honor, the witness looked out of his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not just simply glance out of his window that night. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I?
That's not something you just forget to mention.
Yeah? What she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony. Very well, Mr. Curls, please revise your testimony. This should start turning the tables in our favor. I heard a huge noise outside the window, and that's what made me take a look outside.
Hold it!
What did it sound like? What was the sound like? Well, I guess it kind of sounded like, I guess you could say, Mr. Curls, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary. Oh, how'd you know that? I was gonna make a joke. I guess that the sound sounded like, I suppose it sounded like someone getting hit with something very hard. Yep, that's what it sounded like. Honestly, someone getting hit, huh?
What then? You went to look out the window and saw?
That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though.
Hold it!
Far away, you say? If you had to say exactly, how far away were they? Let me think about that for a second. If my room was here, and they looked about yay big, I'd say they were about 30 feet from my window.
Just 30 feet? That's not far, though. It was snowing that night, and it cut down on visibility.
Whoops, wrong voice. I see. Continue with your testimony regarding the two shadows that you saw. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. What about that hat?
Hold it!
You'd say you clearly saw this, even though you were, by your own admission, far away? That's right. I had been thinking about it over and over since that night. But things didn't really make sense until I spoke with the prosecutor, Miss Von Karma. But now I'm 100% certain that it was Max and the ringmaster that I saw that night. Just think about it. How could I be wrong with Max is always wearing his uppity symbols? Uppity symbols? Really, Phoenix? Lawyers nowadays don't even have to go to school anymore to be one. Alright, everyone. See what I mean? It's always like this. The crowd never wants to go along with me. I must really be utterly and completely worthless as a clown. Yow, sir.
Enough foolishness! Get back on track!
Will the witness please testify as to what he saw and only what he saw? I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clunked the ringmaster over the head. Okay, you say you saw the ringmaster get clunked over the head. Yes, I did. It's the climax of my story. Wait, what about that huge thump then? Would he clobber him twice? Or was the thump the chest? Really does enjoy completely random non sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with? You mean the weapon? I have no idea. The weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right? That's not what I meant. You did say you did see everything, didn't you? Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no, I didn't. I didn't see a weapon. Mo, did you or did you not see the crime of murder committed that night?
Objection!
I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You'd better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor clown. Because if you don't, you know what is waiting for you. A nice penalty. Whoa, that's a big-ass penalty.
Well, isn't this a bit melodramatic? Let's save here.
So what would it be, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? Did you have any clear basis to believe that my witness did not see the crime?
course I don't. Of course I do. He heard two. He saw the him being whacked, and he heard the loud sound. So was the loud sound a whack? Or not? And what about the chest? Did he see a chest? Didn't mention any of that, but I have to end it here, guys. Let's save number 1. Okay, that's it for this part. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna leave you guys with a high five.